turn scars into skits, old wounds into bits. Every call in, every friend feels like Sunday once again. From the grind to the glow up, glass half empty, you pour more up. You take the weight we hold below and lift it on the lava walk of show. This, that LeVar Walker Show, where the real ones talk and the wild thoughts go. We laugh, we cry, yeah, we let it roll. Healing through a joke and a story for the soul. This, that LeVar Walker Show, turn it up loud. Let the whole block know, from pain to punchlines, watch the wisdom glow. Yeah, this, that LeVar Walker Show. Hey, some days heavy, some days light. You still find a way to make it feel alright. When the world's too loud, when the bill's too high, I press play, hear your voice, and I remember why. This, that LeVar Walker Show, where the real ones talk and the wild thoughts go. We laugh, we cry.
Yo, what's happening, good people? What's happening? What's up, man? New York won it. They did it. New York took it. They took it in 5. New York took it in 5, man. And listen, congratulations to everybody in the city of New York. I was going for New York because my brother lives in New York. My niece is from New York. So I had to give it up to New York. And furthermore, New York hasn't won a championship in so long that it brought me back to Chicago when we first won with the Bulls in 1991. So once again, shout out to New York, man. They did an amazing job. They were able to kill them off in San Antonio, which was shocking. You know, I was watching the game. It was a tight game, very up and down. Jalen Brunson got down. And I think all of media owes Jalen Brunson an apology. There are videos out of oh damn, let me make sure I can get this centered. Okay, so there's videos out of Jalen Brunson where they were shitting on him. Stephen A. Smith, all the guys in sports were shitting on Jalen, saying he wasn't worth the trade, but Jalen proved them wrong. And Jalen is a truly inspirational story. So shout out to Jalen Brunson for getting that. And I believe that they need to issue an apology. They need all of those sportscasters that shitted on Jalen Brunson. They need to issue him an apology. They need to get on the news or whatever they do and say, listen, we are sorry for talking shit about him, because they woke. He worked his way up. You know, guy went last in the draft. It wasn't looking too good for him as far as the NBA career is concerned, but Jalen has been focused and he worked his ass off. And he had his father there to help push him along to make him the player that he is today. So shout out to Jalen Brunson. This was a true story of grit. And New York is now able to call themselves NBA champions. I just came on here today because I just want to hang out. I'm not even talking about any news. If y'all got any questions y'all would like to ask me, go ahead. I just want to hang out with y'all and talk some shit. I went out yesterday to a 60th birthday party, which was cool, with my wife, one of her friends. Great party, great environment, just good being around good black folks. And just good black people. Wasn't no niggas there. It was just nice. Everybody had 401k plans, retirement benefits, and just wanted things good for their family and friends. That's what it's about. So that's what's up, man. But how are you guys doing this morning? Shout out to everybody on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, wherever the hell y'all may be. And I just wanted to sit here and vibe. A lot of people have been going in on that Carmelo Anthony situation. A lot of people have been talking about this Carmelo Anthony. And based off the evidence I saw, I think that what Carmelo did was wrong. But what's even worse, I think, is how his family I think his family was led astray in this whole court case. I just think they just had the wrong representation. They had the wrong person to speak for them, as far as the PR person they had, and they ended up getting this young man at 35 year sentence on top of him doing the actual deed. But it is very, very unfortunate. But anyway, neither here nor there. What's going on in the world? What's happening? Shout out to Tracy Britton, complete indifference from Cincinnati, Ohio. I see you in the building. Sherry1714 over there on Instagram. I also see you as well. But what's going on? What's the word? Do we have any questions today? Because I'm hanging out with you guys and I just came on here to talk. I don't have any plans. I don't have shit. I just wanted to talk. And you know what I find interesting? I'm seeing that in the case of Carmelo Anthony and that guy he took out. What's his name? Oh Lord. What's the young man's name that lost his life? Oh, I can't even. Carmelo. What was his name? I can remember Carmelo Anthony because that's an NBA player's name. But the young man, let me Google that. Austin Metcalf. Austin Metcalf. You know, I see Austin Metcalf's father has been going off. Then he's saying some rather racist, I guess, seemingly racist things. And I'm not coming necessarily to his defense, but y'all looking at a hurt man. I know if you niggas killed my son, I'd be up there in the fucking Klansman mask on, losing my shit, you know, but it's just what it is. It's very, very unfortunate. And do y'all realize in the beginning of that case, that man forgave? He actually forgave Carmelo. And the defense didn't take advantage of that opportunity. When he forgave Carmelo, that would have been a perfect time for the defense to come in, try to make amends with the family, try to get a plea deal. And Carmelo would have ended up doing probably 7 years, and he'd have did 3 in time and been out. I promise you. But they were a little bit aggressive. They kicked the father out of some type of candlelight vigil, called the police on him, and just pissed him off. And that preacher, whoever they had, and this is why we got to be careful as a community, black people, because it's just a lot of jive ass niggas in the community who lie to us, who show up in suits and a smile. Then they use those terminologies such as black excellence, and these scam artist motherfuckers, and they fuck shit up. Like in the case of Carmelo, that grimy ass pastor that they had to speak for this young man and the family was naive, seemed like a young mother and father. They didn't know what to do in this horrific situation, but this nigga led them down a very bad road. He just led them down the wrong path. Immediately you will want to make amends with that family. Immediately you will want to take that plea deal. You don't want to fight this in trial. And, you know, this would have been a great time if asshole minister who has a criminal record and I believe shook a baby to death, if he wasn't involved, he could have got both of these families together to make amends and to heal. And it would have been a very positive light that shined on the community. But that didn't happen because these people are full of shit and they're looking for greed and likes and clicks, and everybody's looking for attention. And we just in a society that's fucked. You know, you got rappers now willing to sell their soul to be on Streamer University. And that just shows me, like, you think about these guys that are going down there to give Castanet a blowjob, and these are supposed to be these guys are big tough street niggas or whatever, and they're just kissing his ass. And it just shows me that these men never ever had any type of integrity, and it also shows me what they'll do behind closed doors, because everybody's fighting for attention in this particular time. It's just a race to the bottom with attention. Whoever gets the most attention, whoever can get the most spectacle, whoever can get the most light shined on them wins in this game of entertainment. It does not matter. I don't have, like, I want to have, I used to be inspired and I would go watch comedians who were up. Like, you would see these guys, there would be certain, when I was a younger comic, all the guys winning were actually funny. I could go sit and watch them and I could examine my game and see what I had to do better. And that shit is just not the case anymore. Guys are selling tickets, which is cool, but it's a thing of who can get the most attention, like I said before. And this is not me coming from a place of hatred, because comedy is subjective, but most are just not my cup of tea, and I feel superior to them. That's just how I feel. So, it's what it is. Travin Allen, you came in, you said the Anthony family they were definitely naive. I listened to the father's interview. He was lost. He didn't know. They really needed a voice of reason or somebody in the community with some level of intellect to come in there and help them. I don't know if they used a public defense lawyer, like a public defender, but this was just bad all the way around. And I'm sure, even though the dad is acting out, because that father's acting out, and we need to have empathy for that. I do a bit about how I worked in the pharmacy and the redneck called me a nigga, and I didn't get mad because I watched him get into his double wide trailer and drive off. So why would I get mad at this guy who life is kicking him in his ass all day, every day? And it's the same thing with the guy's father. What's his name? Metcalf's dad. Metcalf's dad really lost a child, and now he's acting out, and that's how grief hits us sometimes. I don't even think he's racist. He's just saying anything now just to show you guys his pain and his hurt. I'm not even offended, because I don't typically get offended, because I don't feel white people don't offend me because I don't feel inferior to them. A lot of niggas have an inferiority complex when it comes to the whites. I don't. So you're not going to say anything to me to make me act out of character. And that happens often. And I get it, but it's just not going to hit me that way. Because I'm rather a confident guy, right? I'm confident. I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Especially being a comedian. I'm like, what? Like, come on. You said he came back for a refill. Oh, yeah. Oh, you talking about the joke. That's what's up. What's good? Game and Lift. I see you. Shout out to everybody over here on Lexi Girl, Bernard Humbles. Yeah, Watermelon Felon. How do y'all even heard by that shit? That was like when he said Watermelon Felon, that shows you that this guy really isn't racist. He's just talking from pain, because that is the weakest racial shit that I've ever heard. Yeah, you had to think about that one. Yeah, you're talking about he's a watermelon felon. And it's like, that's so weak and lame. You know what I mean? But I understand it's coming from hurt. You lose your child. And I think as a community, we still have to look at the fact that the man lost his child. Like, let's just take race away and let's look at this from a human standpoint. Let's have some humanity here. His child is gone. How would you react if your child was gone? Whether that be a black or white person that takes your child out, you're gonna fucking lose your noodle. So that's what it is, man. In toxic waters, JK 4121 says, in toxic waters do not flow through the same pipe as spring water. What comes out the mouth is what's in the heart. Not necessarily. That's not true. That's not true. I've had heated arguments with my wife, and after the argument, we say what you want to eat. We don't mean that shit. It's just words. You're going to use the words to stir up hurt. I don't know for sure, but I may have seen someone steal your joke about being with a young woman. They probably did, bro. Niggas be stealing my shit. It's easy to steal from me because I'm not as famous, but I'm better than most. So, and then I put a whole hour out. Like I put all my show out. I don't give a fuck. I don't harbor jokes and shit because I'm the river. I'm the flow. So I put out all my shit on YouTube. So of course they stole. They come, I'm writing for these niggas. They come to my YouTube page and watch me and take shit. I know that. And look, the TikTok joke, I do a TikTok joke. He talking about the TikTok joke I do about older men dating younger women. And I say, these young women don't know the signs of a heart attack. The reason I did that joke is because my father had a heart attack, and I was thinking about my mama not being in the picture and him being with a young woman and what would have happened if she didn't know the signs. So that's what that was about. Who did the joke? You say my video, y'all see how these niggas steal? Look, and I'm glad y'all are seeing this, right? I'm glad y'all are seeing this. And what's happening to the ones that are stealing, at the same time, I have a pretty solid fan base. Like we almost at 90,000 on YouTube, and then I'm at 268,000 on Instagram and over 700 something thousand on Facebook. So it's not like I'm around and they see me. But look, oh man, shout out to Lindell Moore, man, with the $10. This is what I'm talking about. See that, man? That's the love I'm talking about, man. Thank you so much, brother Lindell, for the $10 super chat. Thank you for that. And you know, yes, a parent needs to be able to agree, but we need to stop this shit about, you know, oh, this white races and all this shit. Because at the end of the day, I just showed a video of a man. I put up a post of a black male bus driver, 40 years old. He asked a kid on the bus to turn his speaker down or whatever. The kid killed him. He 15, but you won't hear about that shit because that's he black. They both black. So we go on. We don't protest that. We protest the shit that'll bring us the most attention. So that's what we're looking for. We're the fucking attention in some way to make the money. That's why. Shout out to Mario. I appreciate that, brother. But yeah, man, that's where we at, y'all. Yeah, they stealing out. They stealing my shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back and cut that joke up and then repost it. But yeah, they flat out stealing. And I'm gonna call Coco on that shit because you know what's so crazy? I just talked to Coco 2 days ago for about an hour. We talked on the phone about 2 hours. And you're telling me, and you know what? Coco the homie. So I'm gonna say this. Maybe, perhaps, it's a parallel fault. I don't know. But you saw the joke a month before she did it, and it's like, man, come on. No lie, I watched, oh man, San Jose, I watched Desi Banks end his show with a whole Epps bit word for word from a Netflix special. He was bombing too. Damn. People running with everybody else sauce out here, man. It's getting crazy. And I'm fucked with Desi. Thanks for hanging with us. No, nigga, I'm regular too, y'all. As a matter of fact, I've been doing job interviews. Oh, shit. This shit is not what you think. I appreciate you clowning whatever. And it could be. Great minds do think alike at times, so I will give her the benefit of the doubt. How about that? And I just saw a dude steal my shit, talking about his dad take a long time to answer the phone, you know? So I ain't tripping. I'm just going to keep supplying. What y'all got to do, if y'all see somebody that's taking a joke, go to, you know, since my YouTube page full of jokes, go point them or reference them to where they got the joke from. That's what we're going to do. Because there's a lot of stealing going on out here. So that's what we're going to do. But yeah, my shit is mine. You can't steal joke. But see, that's a premise. So the premise of that joke is a simple premise. But where it came from is from an honest place. It comes from an honest place. It comes from a place of seeing my dad there, and even not just seeing my dad after he had his stroke, but it's like even thinking about if my mom wasn't there, if he was with a young woman, how, because my mama saved my daddy's life. Literally, my mom and my auntie and uncle got together. They saved my dad from being a fucking vegetable. 100%. Yes, that joke about my dad picking up the phone, that was on my Shaq set. And that was a good joke I could always go to and go fast. I'm pretty sure they'll start taking the Ozempic joke too that I do, that I put out already. But yeah, man, they out here stealing, man. These comics, I mean, hey, desperate times call for desperate measures. Now, JK4121, and you know, when I lost my son, I grieved for a little bit to figure out what I was going to do. I didn't get online. I want the community, and now I work in the community as an advocate for young men. Shout out to JK. And listen, man, if there's anything I could do, JK, to help with what you got going on in the community with those young men, please feel free to reach out and let me know. However I can help, I am here. I do not have thousands of millions of dollars to donate, but what I do have is time. So please let me know what I can do, and we can keep it funky. No, oh, that's interesting. And speaking of jokes, do you think Cedric Entertainment? No, I don't. That's very interesting. When Cat called out Sid for stealing that joke, do I think he stole? I don't personally think he stole a joke. I think it's only so many ways you can reenact driving a car. Like I believe it was the action of driving a car, where a joke consists of an intro setup and a punchline. The action of driving a car, that's like if you do a joke with somebody and he was knocking on the door. The action of knocking on the door is not a joke. That's just an action. So you know what I mean? When I saw that, I'm like, I'm not too sure about this. To me, it just seems like there might have been a joke with similar premises or something, but I don't think he stole it. But I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want no smoke with no goddamn Cat Williams. So if Cat feel that way, that's his right to feel how he felt. You know what I'm saying? But from what I saw, it's just an act out. It's just a small part of an act out in that. So, young man, give me the breathing medication. See, that was directly with me being in pharmacy and doing my pharmacy jokes. Y'all are going to see probably a whole wave of pharmacists being comedians. Now, one guy I'm cool with, Maurice Shaw, comic, you know, he saw me, he started, but it's going to be probably 40 or 50 more of these guys. And, you know, I'm just glad I could be the inspiration. But yeah, appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So what questions y'all got for me since we sitting up in here vibing? Which joke was Lexi Girl on Instagram? What joke was word for word? Tell me the joke was word for word. And one day, Lexi, what joke was word for word? Tell me what it was. When you gonna be in Chicago to do a show, and you and Corey Holcomb cool, because if y'all do a show together, somebody gonna leave in an ice cream truck. That's hilarious. I don't know when I'm coming back home. Really, you know what I mean? The way these ticket sales are going, I don't really know. You know what I mean? This demand has to get a lot bigger for it to make sense. That shit got to make sense at this point now. Thank you, Sarah. That's the only thing I asked, and I asked you to be no finding just your presence. I'm not coming to New York, Sherry, 7174. When I come to New York, I'm not booking the show out there. I tried to book a show, and the shit ain't sell no tickets. So I won't be back in New York until probably I'm positive 2 million followers on Instagram. I'm not. No, Nashville. No, I'm not coming to Nashville either. No, y'all gonna be able to. Y'all gonna have to build with me pretty much on the internet until the demand is met. You know, because I'm taking L's in several markets, and I can't rely on, you know what I mean, like this algorithm and all this shit. So I gotta be north of 1 million followers on all these platforms before I go back out. I'm not going back out. Y'all can get it here and just see me do shit on YouTube. It gotta make sense. It has to make sense. It can't, no, it can't just be me coming out and I'm paying. Nigga, y'all gotta understand, with these shows comes expenses and door deals and travel, and I'm paying to do a show. I just paid to do a show when I went to Arlington, Virginia. I lost my ass. It ended up costing me $30 to perform for 40 people. You see what I'm saying? So the math got to make sense, and I'm focusing on my bottom line. So fuck that, everything. I'm not moving. You see me on YouTube, I post clips, I come here and talk, I'm gonna do the videos, and we just have to grow as a unit, as a family. And when that demand is there, I'll be back outside, because from a business standpoint, it got to make sense. And then too, I'm trying to build on my own. I'm not trying to get up under no nigga. I'm not trying to put my head up no famous comics ass. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not trying to be up under the Instagram or internet sensation. So I'm building my shit brick by brick. And, you know, when it makes sense, I'll step out. It got to make sense from on the business side. So until then, no, you can see me right here for free. You don't even have to get a 2-drink minimum. You don't have to buy a ticket. You'd see me right here damn near every day. And we build from here. Right? Because I just can't. I don't have, like, I guess I had like ego or some shit. I can't do it, man. I see a lot of motherfuckers like go and jock niggas and ride they dick. And it's just terrible. I'm like, God, I couldn't live with myself doing that. You know what I mean? But to each his own. But no, fuck that. My platform, to me, is the biggest platform on the planet. And I'm gonna sit right here in this desk, this chair, and we can grow, and I can be honest. And since I own and control my shit, I ain't got to worry about getting the phone call saying, man, take that down. Take that video down, like a lot of these niggas got to do. So it's what it is. It is what it is, guys. Thank you, Bernard, for coming to that party I threw in Arlington, Virginia. Bernard Humbles came out there, so I appreciate you pulling up on me, Big Bernard. Did you enjoy the show? Matter of fact, we got that show posted right on YouTube right now, live from Arlington. And we had a great, great time. And also, we had 89,100 subs on YouTube as of today. So shout out to everybody who subscribed to my YouTube page. I appreciate y'all for the love, man. And make sure, too, everybody on YouTube, to my YouTube family, if y'all watching me put out all that content, it's okay. You can share it. Text it to a friend. Send it to a friend. Yo, check my boy out. He funny. It ain't nothing but a text. And that is where we're at. Matter of fact, I was in Nashville. I did the Joy earlier this year. The economy is trash in our government. You're right. The economy is trash, bro. I guess my problem is sometimes, even though the economy is trash, you still have those that are selling out. And it's very hard for me as a human being not to look to see, you see your neighbor winning and you're like, well, what the fuck? Am I not funny enough? What do I need to do better? Because you still got acts that are going to sell out even in a bad economy. All right. Bro, you just need one good. Nobody watches movies or television, though, bro. Russian, they not watching that shit. You'll blow up more. You already known by a lot of folks. Salute to doing it. No, I don't. That's interesting you say that. People don't watch television or movies. They're not watching that shit, bro. And if you in there, you just doing background. If you number 5 or 7 on that call sheet, you know what I'm saying? I think everything lives right here right here in the digital space. That's where it lives. And you blow up in the digital space, and then you partner with Hollywood. They gonna come and partner with you. No different from Drewski and a lot of these guys you see. They already had a fan base. When you come with the fan base, you got the leverage. So now I don't have to kiss your ass and jump through hula hoops. You take it or leave it. And I take myself and fan base on somewhere else, and there's another person competing for it. That's the game of entertainment right now. That's where we at. What about turning my comedy? It's a guy that had turned my comedy stores into like anime, like he acted them out. They on TikTok. I don't know the brother's name, but he did a really, really good job of that. And two, y'all could turn them into, just grab one and you turn it into animation. Because I'm gonna be honest, man, I got a lot on my head, man. A lot. I think when it hits, it's gonna hit. As good as that Shaq said, I can't believe that didn't skyrocket you. And you know what? That is right, Game and Lift 1726. When it's your time, it's just your time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the journey, you win during the journey, right? But like hitting and you selling all these things, that's God. Like, that's something that happens. No one can force that, because if we could, every comedian in the world would be selling. If there was just some button you could press or you do this or do that, it's all bullshit. Because every big moment of my career, it was just I'm pushing through, and something happened, right? Like when I won the Miller Lite with Kevin Hart crying, laughing. That was great. So 2012 was a great year for me, because that year in 2012, I got called to be a part of the New and Living Color that was coming out. I was flown out to Hollywood to meet with Keenan Ivory Wayans, and they were trying to reboot the show, and it was really big. And that was like March 2012. And then that same year, I won the Shaq with a Miller Lite comedy competition, which put me on the Shaq All-Star Comedy Jam. Right. And then it kind of went cold. And then I ended up getting Life in Beth, where I did 2 seasons of a Hulu show, and I was filming in New York and filming in New Orleans. And I mean, these things just happen. And I believe, it's just God, man. It's really God. I can't call and be like, man, get my ass on fire right now. Only thing I can do is what I'm doing right now. Like this here, I can show up. I don't know what the result will be, but I can show up. That's all we can do, is just continuously show up and push through. So happy Sunday to you, Howard Stone. Shout out Howard Stone. Thank you for tapping in with me. And once again, thank you. Be humble. Appreciate you. I appreciate that. Ant Davis in the building. Shout out to Anthony Davis, man. My brother, man. Holla at me, Ant. Call me, Ant Davis. Call me, bro. I want to talk to you. I think my first time seeing you was on Godfrey's podcast. Let me see. Telling the story about Tyler Perry studio with the security guard sharing teeth. Oh, yes. Let me tell you something, man. That's a great time. So I got a call. What was so interesting about that call, I was working at CVS at that time, CVS Pharmacist. Bro, it was a Saturday or some shit. I think I had to work a weekend, man. And I'm sitting in the parking lot with a dirty ass lab coat on. Like, I do not feel like this shit today. And I said, God, when I tell y'all I looked up, I said, God, why me? God, send me a sign. This is what I said. I was in my car and I looked, I said, God, send me a sign. I don't feel like this shit today. And when I tell you, within 3 minutes, I get a text from a guy named Mike Socio, who was working one of the writers for Bad Boys 3. And he said, "Hey, this is Mike Socio. Got a recommendation for you to do some punch up on Bad Boys 3, you know. Do you think you can come in?" And I think it was like on a Sunday or something. He was like, "If not, just let me know we can do it or whatever." Nah, man, I went to that shit. That shit was amazing. It was at Tyler Perry Studios, and this was around the time they were filming Coming to America 2. And I got on the lot, and this was before the slap of Will Smith and Chris Rock. This when Will Smith was godlike. And I got on set, and I remember the writer meeting me, and another guy met me, and we was in front of this trailer, and they were talking to me. So one of the guys walked off. He goes to that trailer, and I'm talking to the other writer, and I see that trailer door open, and the one guy that was standing there was talking to me, and then I see Will Smith walk out that motherfucker like the sun came out or some shit. And Will and the guy walked Will over to me, say, LeVar, I want to introduce you to Will Smith. Will Smith, this is LeVar. And I remember trying to downplay that shit like, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I did like that. And then I looked Will in the eye and I just broke. I'm like, nigga, I can't do this, man. Bro, you know I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? It was love. And then Will started laughing and like money was coming out his mouth. Like it was like dollars just falling out of his mouth. And it was just amazing. It was it was like some dream type shit. Like it's been several times, bro, when it's been like in my career where God will like send me some signs like, nah, I've called you to do this. And that's like the biggest fight. It's like, you know, you've been called to do something, and sometimes things are just not going the way you want, and you start looking around like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing, bro? Right? But you can't stop because this is what you're ordained to do. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not the biggest motherfucker on the planet. You know what I mean? I see motherfuckers touring and shit like that, but they know I'm superior to them. I know I'm better than them. But it's a thing of just pushing through and continuously working with the craft and trying to figure out the algorithm. That's a whole nother topic of discussion. Figuring out the algorithm to push you to more people so that people can see you and your demand increases, and now you're selling tickets. But I promise y'all this, when I do get popping, let me tell you something. All that brother shit these niggas be doing when you get on fire, don't brother me, nigga. I'm going to be, boy, listen, I'm going to be hurting feelings. I'm going to pop. I'm going to pop. Them tickets going to be selling and niggas going to be doing them posts. Man, they my brother. I'm going to be like, nigga, no, the fuck I'm not. I'm not your brother. I'm not your motherfucking brother. Don't say that shit. Because it gets very, very phony once you get on fire. When you hot, when I tell you everybody's your friend, I don't give a fuck. When you hot, everybody is your friend in this business. Every motherfucker, your phone ringing off the hook, niggas calling, man, bro, you my brother, you know what I'm saying? Man, you know, man, come here, man. Let's go do the thing. They all full of shit. They all full of shit. And I watch guys, you know, they'll get a hit, and I just sit back and I'm watching them on Instagram and shit. I say they have no fucking idea. They just don't have any idea. Like, these people are phony, man. I learned that shit the hard way when I had that incident with Mike Epps. When I had that Mike Epps incident and I ended up suing and calling the police on him for being assaulted by his goons. Listen, you should have saw it was like the Red Sea parted or some shit. Like I was hot, I was having momentum, and then these niggas put me in a snitch jacket and all this old shit. And I didn't give a fuck because I was already making money. It didn't matter. But as a black man, I had to sue and call the police because that's what I do. That's what people with doctorate degrees do. We sue and call the fucking police. What should I do? Kill him? You know what I'm saying? So, but when all of that happened, it was a very dark time in my career. And I watched people, you know what I mean, just become fake. Like they, you know, but yeah, that motherfucker. Like these were people that was like I was their brother and all that shit. But then when that heat came, they just switched up overnight. And I still end up surpassing most of them. But it was just sad to see. Like for instance, when that happened, I remember they were like, LeVar banned from Uptown. He can't come up here no more. Right. And that happened. This particular thing happened like June. I think it was June 1st. I think it was June 1st. June 1st, 2014. So this particular incident happened. And I called the police. I was like on the news and all that shit. I remember like the Facebook comments. Like I had to, like I turned my Facebook off, but I could still watch, like I was invisible. And I just saw these guys. They were just talking so much shit about me. They were just shitting on me. He deserves it. It's this, that, he not home. Just going in, right? And they were like, you can't never come to Uptown Comedy Corner. And 2 weeks later, because I was already on the Shaq All-Star Comedy Jam, I had to host the auditions for the Shaq All-Star Comedy Jam. And these same guys who were talking shit were in that green room, damn near ready to suck my dick. And I didn't, I just played them like, I didn't say nothing. I just played them, but I got to cut throats behind the curtain. It was an invisible hand that's been on their career. And they don't even have any idea that I'm the invisible hand. Right? Because that's the game. This game of entertainment and show business is fucking horrific. It's a terrible game. Most motherfuckers are selfish. It's pretty much all about what can you do for me. And if somebody even wants you a lot of times to come on the road with them and all that shit, they want to do that because they think you're funny, but they also, to a large degree, and I'm not saying all, some people have very, very good intentions. Some, but that's a small percentage. But for the most part, they're trying to bring you on the road shit so they can learn you and download you and not necessarily steal your jokes, but steal your persona. And then they run with it. And that's the nature of the game. It's very, very cutthroat. And comedy, especially because comedy is more passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Especially now because attention is everything. Rap is dead. Rappers can't sell no tickets to save their life. And comedy is a thing where I think, a lot of people want to get into the space of comedy. Everybody wants to be a comedian now. And I'm going to tell y'all something. As an audience, y'all have made comedy a lot easier because y'all don't boo these motherfuckers. Like, I came up in an era where they booed us the fuck off the stage. Y'all stopped that for some reason. I got booed before. I got booed plenty of times, but I came back. But booing really kept the game pure, and it kept out like a lot of bullshit. And it made comedy better overall. Like, I know y'all like to do the fucking crowd work video, but y'all need to boo these motherfuckers. Like, you paying $150 to go watch a nigga and there are no jokes. Boo the motherfucker. He'll be all right. He's gonna be okay. Either he gonna get better or quit. So that's how I feel. So the game is, the bar of comedy is very, very low. It's very, very low. And I don't have nothing against crowd work, but I will say this. When you look at the history of comedy, you're able to go back and look at a comedian's set. You look at his jokes, you remember certain jokes, you remember certain characters, you remember certain things about that set. You don't necessarily remember things about like crowd work. And not to say that it's a bad thing. It's cool. Do what you do. But like, you're not going to go look back at a crowd work set 2 years later to get some relief or to have something that was in common with you. It's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. Love, the great Lavender Love is in the building. I don't want to get to talk too bad about, like, I don't hate crowd work. It's cool because I don't want to be, nigga, you just hating this shit. You mad. Like, no, it's not. That's not it. As a sportsman, I just want to play. Like, the interesting thing about comedy is this. To be successful as a comedian, it does not matter how funny you are, right? To make it. You could be funny as hell and never make it, or you could be the worst nigga on earth and blow the fuck up. That's probably the most difficult part. Jesus Christ, man. My brother, look at this, man. My brother just came in with 100. My brother blessed me with the $100 super chat. Do you see this? Love your work, brother. I always call the police. Call me what you want. I have too much. Exactly. And brother, and we really have to, and this is the conversation we need to have in the community. Normalize calling the police on these niggas. If you come to do me harm, to jump on me or do some shit, you're going the fuck to jail. That white boy gonna put your ass in jail, and I want to put you in jail even worse because I believe you're treasonous and working behind enemy lines. I just want to do the Lord's work and eliminate your ass from society, from causing more havoc in the community. We have to normalize that. A snitch is a person that y'all do a crime together. You get caught with the bag, you go tell on your friend. That's snitching. A snitch is not a person that is assaulted or beat the fuck up and goes call the police and sue. We have to normalize that. And another thing we need to normalize too for our young boys, we need to talk about, in the case of this Carmelo Anthony, we need to have serious discussions about de-escalation. De-escalation is walking away. If you are trained in any jiu-jitsu sport or martial arts or any self-defense sport, the first thing they teach you is de-escalation, walking away. Like, yeah, you might have all the moves to really hurt and damage somebody, to kill somebody, but you don't want to do that. You walk away. Only time you use that is when the person like literally comes up to you, corners you, where you can't get out and your life is now threatened. You walk away. And in the case of the Carmelo Anthony thing, when I look at that actual hard evidence of them asking him to leave 15 times, I go, young brother, why you just didn't leave? It's okay. It's okay. Cool, I'm out. Just get the fuck out of here, man. Just go. Just go. That's all I'm saying. And our children need to know this. Our young brothers need to know this. And I know that you tough and you bad, but it's okay. Walk away, bro. Walk away. Right. And exactly, need to line up. They always say what's corny and shit. What's corny is going to fuck to jail. That's corny. A life sentence is corny. Being away from your family and friends is corny. Walking away is the greatest thing you can do, because when you walk away, young brothers, if any young brothers are listening to me right now, when you walk away, guess what? You took control of that situation and you won. You won. If I'm able to control your thumb screw, if I'm able to go up to you and make you react from an emotional standpoint, you lost. You lost. If you start getting emotional, so we have to, de-escalation is key. You know, a lot of our brothers and sisters in regards to this Carmelo Anthony situation, They keep going on the race shit, race. They're not talking about de-escalation and power and control. De-escalation is power. That's being powerful. That's saying I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, you know what I do? I go to a restaurant and I get in there. Somebody got an attitude, service bad. That's okay. I'm gone. I leave. I'm not. What am I? I'm out. Thank you. Give me. I'm gone. I'm out. Just de-escalate. I'm not gonna fight or fuck. Just leave. We have to push that to these children. We have to just leave, brother. Just go. It ain't no sense of sitting there fighting with these people, man. Just please go. I'm gonna tell y'all the story. I almost got killed one night because I wanted to, and it happened to me. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was in a dark place. This had to be, man, this must have been 06, 07, something like that, man. And one of my close friends, we all went to the strip club. Me and my wife. I don't know if we were married at the time. She might have been my girlfriend at that time. And then him and his girl. We at the strip club. Now, I was in a dark place, right? Because I'm working as a CVS pharmacist shit. And I'm just like, every day is Groundhog's Day. I'm like, what the fuck? My life was just dark. And this was around the time when Ciroc first blew up. Ciroc, remember Ciroc was the shit. Diddy turned Ciroc into this $1 billion brand. And it was my first time actually drinking the Ciroc. So we sitting there, we in the club, you got the table, we get the bottles of Ciroc. I'm drinking this shit like Kool-Aid. I'm like, man, ain't nothing in it. This ain't shit, you know? Little did I know, the Ciroc hit me hard, man. It hit me hard. And I was drunk and didn't know it. Now, when it hit, I was like, you know, it was a DJ in there and the DJ talking. I stepped out of my body. It's like I was sitting down, but my spirit got up and looked at me. And my spirit was like, hey, man, you a comedian? Go up there to the DJ booth, take the mic, man, turn this bitch up. And I looked at my spirit. I go, you're right. Hell yeah, I'm a comedian. I'm about to turn this bitch up. So I just get up from the table. I start walking to the DJ. The DJ up in that bitch, he's spinning, bro. I tapped that nigga on the shoulder. I say, yo, man, I'm comedian. Look, nobody knew who the fuck it was. I said, yo, man, I'm comedian LeVar Walker, man. Give me that mic so I can turn this bitch up. The DJ looked at me. He looked at me, got back in the mic. Yo, who the fuck are you? Security, come get this nigga. So I see the gorillas, all these big goon security guards, they are coming, right? They're coming to get me and to snatch me out of the DJ booth. So the guy, he has me like by the neck, like right here. And when they take you out of the club, it don't matter how fast you are walking, they're gonna walk a little bit faster just to drag your ass out. So I was trying to walk fast as I could, but this nigga was running. No matter how fast I walk, he will walk faster. So now I'm walking through the table of people I came with. They looking at me, right? And now they taking me outside. So they get up, my homie get up and follow me. Now I'm drunk. I'm drunk as fuck. I'm talking all kinds of shit to the security guard. Let me tell y'all what I said. I said, y'all got the wrong nigga out here. I said, nigga, I'm lying. I was like, nigga, I'm a motherfucking attorney. And if I'm touched in this bitch will be a Waffle House when I'm done with it. Nigga, I turned into Denzel from Training Day. They are getting ready to kill me. I mean, they getting ready to bust my goddamn ass. And then I see my close friend outside paying niggas off not to beat my ass. Now, that's a real friend. He had paid them niggas off for not killing me. I would probably be dead or in a wheelchair right now. Because they were getting ready, bro. They were taking off equipment. And, bro, I just lost it. But by the grace of God, like I say, de-escalation is key. And if my homie didn't have that paper, because my homie was rich, if he didn't have that goddamn paper, I would have died. I'd have been dead. So de-escalation is key. Walk away, young brothers. The win is in walking away. The win is not sitting there trying to fight, telling some nigga what you gonna do to him. Walk off. Be docile. That's the way to go. So that's just one story about me. And I get it too, because I'm almost 50, and a lot of the younger generation, when you young and you still got that jawline and your cheeks look sucked in and you're handsome, your testosterone through the roof. You know, testosterone is very aggressive, and you have to control it, because when you young, testosterone through the roof, dig hard all the time. You kind of aggressive. The win is, that's right. Shout out to Fresco Tech. The win is making it back home. That's all you want to do, young brothers. Please, I beg of my young brothers to listen to this, man. All the tough niggas in jail, and they do not want to be there, bro. You talking about just a 2-second decision can change your life. Like right now, Carmelo in that goddamn jail cell breaking down. He is walking back like I could have left. That is what he's saying right now. In that cell crying, why didn't I leave? Why didn't I just say fuck this and leave and just walk away? That's what's going through his mind. He's replaying that over and over again. And these niggas, these elitist niggas, are not saying what needs to be said. They're just hanging on the race. They're not telling these children to de-escalate, walk away, be powerful in that situation. Know the decision that you're making. They're just running this shit to their own narrative to benefit for themselves. And these niggas, these elitist niggas that play this race card, make me fucking sick, man. They don't even live around black people. They don't live in the fucking community. Like when I speak to certain things and issues as a black man, I live around all black people. I live in the community. HBCU, black wife, black son, black, Southside Chicago. I've grown up around all black people. My whole life, my whole existence. So when I call out nigga shit, I mean that, because I live in it. I didn't grow up in no motherfucking suburbs. And I'm not saying, I'm not saying I'm not wearing growing up in the hood as a badge of honor, but I wasn't fortunate enough to grow up outside the area. A lot of these niggas that grew up in the suburbs and shit, or grew up in the woods, they try to push like street narratives and shit, or what's real, because they identify that masculinity by being a super goon nigga. That's how they function in society. That's what they do. So it's fucking crazy, nigga. Just walk away. Fuck, I ain't trying to be tough, nigga. Last thing you want to do, be a tough nigga out here. And then for people, like some people to say, every situation in the legal system is a different situation. It's to its own situation. And I know people are comparing the Carmelo Anthony case with various different cases, and we're comparing it just based off color and not even doing due diligence or getting under the hood to see what actually happened in each individual case. It's niggas walking around and just think, do you think the boy should just go off for killing a child? So should the jury have said, hey, he's a black kid, it's okay, just let him go? Is that what we do? It's crazy. Oh, y'all want the chat on? Here you go. There go the chat on screen. I didn't have it on. Yeah, like when I listened to that Carmelo Anthony thing, I was confused because it was, to me, it was like, what's happening, Jelana? Welcome to the group. But with that Carmelo Anthony thing, it was interesting to me because just from the media and the sensationalism of the media, this is what I thought. This is, and without doing any due diligence or looking in the case, what I thought was that Carmelo Anthony went to like some all-white school and it was two big-ass white bullies fucking with him every day, all day. They were just kicking his ass all around the school like a soccer ball. Until one day, Carmelo was in this corner and they had him surrounded and he had no choice. He tried to leave. He couldn't leave, but he had no choice but to stab this motherfucker to get out of the situation. That is what I thought. That was from the assumption, because I didn't do a lot of due diligence and even looking into this case. But come to find out, he didn't know these children. He's from an opposite school. He goes under the tent with a knife in his bag and say, motherfucker, try me. You gotta go to jail. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. Niggas already called me a coon, but it's cool with me. Like, I don't care. And then furthermore, for the situation to be able to for amends to come to the situation where Metcalf's father, the first thing he does in the media, they asked him about the situation. That man looked in that camera and say, I forgive my son's killer. And I forgive my son's killer for me. Right? So I can function. But he did say he forgives his son's killer. At that point, the defense of this trial should have gotten in line with their father and brought these families together to heal. Because look, as a dad, I would have sat back and say, man, this is a mistake. He didn't, and maybe we could work something out. But they didn't do that. They went the opposite way. So you think about the father making these racist statements, but think about that shit. I want every black person to think about this. You killed my child. My son gone, my child, my baby gone. The first thing I say to the media is, I forgive you. I forgive you. And I'm doing that for my sanity and for the sanity of my family, yada, yada, yada. I forgive you. You took my child gone. I will never see my child again. Then the person that took my child or his family, they have a vigil, and that I'm invited to the vigil, and then you call the police on me to have me removed as soon as I show the fuck up. So you took my child, but then just another slap in the face for that. Of course, he's going to make outrageous racial statements. And for us, just as humans, not to have any empathy, that's troubling to me. That's troubling. Because at the end of the day, yeah, Carmelo got 35. He'll probably do 17 and come back. His boy never come back. Never. Never. And that's some human shit, bro. So, and I get it, and we up in arms and shit. I don't really, this situation for me is a very unfortunate situation, and my prayers go out to both families. But then at the same time, we got our other pressing issues in the community, which we don't say shit about. Like the kid that killed the bus driver, the black kid. That shit, there will be nothing said about that, unfortunately. So that's what it is, man. I'm glad you like the clips. Wanla, did I pronounce that right? Wanla 5243. I'm glad you like the clips. There are going to be a lot more clips coming you guys' way, because we're going to build this shit up to where my demand is overwhelming, and then I'm popping back out, and these motherfucking shows is off the chain. Look, let me tell you something, Jay Breezy over there on Instagram. You know how his statements make black people feel? I know you're saying so. Jay Breezy 219 on Instagram says his statements don't have to be racist. There's other ways to curse a motherfucker out. That is true, Jay Breezy. But however you felt about his statements, it gave you a feeling of hurt. He wants motherfuckers to feel the same pain that he is feeling for losing a child. And for every statement that he has, I would think that we should be adults in that situation to look at the man, not as a white man, but just as a human who's lost a child. He can say nigga all day. I don't give a fuck. Like, nigga, being called nigga and shit, that don't hurt me. It does nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he wants you to feel something. He wants you to feel something, and that's okay. So, but de-escalation is key, guys. But look, y'all talk to me, man. We got more to do. Yes, honey. Where you going? You going to Costco's? I'm about to leave, guys. Me and my wife, we do our Costco runs. And I've been talking to y'all for an hour. Shout out again. Let me just shout out again to the good brother, the Little Gaming Channel for the $100 super chat. And also Lindale Moore for the $10 super chat. And I'm out, guys. Peace, love, and blessings. And look, before I go, do y'all want me to do more podcasts like this where I'm just talking to you and it's a conversation versus me doing the trending topics? Would y'all just like me to just talk? Is this better? I want to know, because I'm trying to adjust some things here. So let me know. Is that better if I just talk, like we just have conversations? I'm just like, what up? Do both? Okay. Well, cool, man. Love you guys, man. I'm going to see y'all in a minute. I'm out of here. Let me set my outro video real quick. And there we go. Good night and God bless.